Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. And before we do get into today's story, I just want to give you a warning that there is talk of miscarriage within the story, so if you do want to skip the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. This story comes from the True Off My Chest subreddit from Expensive Concept 152 and says, my ex-husband who cheated on me with my sister emailed me after 6 years. I, 33 female, met my ex-husband Dan, 40 male, almost 15 years ago at a restaurant when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was really nice, charming and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For some context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mum and dad used to always fight. My dad would sometimes go out and not come back for months. He died when my sister Abby, 25 female, was born. My mum was way too fond of Abby since her birth rather than me. Abby was basically babied by my mother. She didn't neglect me at all, always did her best as a mother and provided for me, but I always felt something missing. After Dan came into my life, I didn't feel like there was something missing for me. He supported me, he was caring, he would always buy me gifts and take me out on long drives. I felt complete when I was with him. We got married after dating for 4 years. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan encouraged me to do my masters and help me build my career. He wanted us to be in a stable position financially before we start thinking about having kids. Seriously, he was the best guy I could ever ask for. After 5 years of being happily married, I discovered that my husband was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered the affair when my husband made an excuse that he would go out of town for a week, but he stayed in town and booked a hotel room where he and Abby can have sex. This has been going on for 6 months behind my back. I was really devastated. Abby and I were close growing up. I loved her and cared for her. How could she do this to me? After the D-Day, Dan and I had a fight. I asked, how could he do this to me? That too with my sister, who just turned 19. He said he didn't love me anymore, that I don't give him enough attention, that I am not the same girl he fell in love with. Between this mess, I discovered that I was pregnant, but due to the stress, I lost the baby. He didn't even care enough to visit me at the hospital when I lost our child. He was having a weekend getaway with my sister. I should have seen the signs. Abby would always be touchy with Dan. Dan would sometimes stare at her, but it is still very disturbing for me. My mother, as usual, took Abby's side and told me to just make peace with it. I wanted to kill myself because I had no one left. Lost my child and my husband, my whole family. Then my best friend Tina, my savior, came to my rescue. She was moving to another state and asked me to come with her. I said yes. I was already divorced at that point and we lived in a small town, so I would obviously run into my ex and my sister. It took me a while to settle into my new life in a different state, but I met some kind people there. It helped me heal some trauma. I still have trust issues. I met my now husband Tony, 32 male, after 1 year of moving to the new place. I was really hesitant and kept my guard up, but he showed me that he is trustworthy and loves me a lot. I was also happy with him that I almost forgot about the life I had back in my hometown. His parents were really welcoming and generous people. We got married a year ago. I'm now pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I got an email from my ex, Dan. It just brought back all the bad memories. I'm just paraphrasing his email. He mentioned that he misses me. He tried to find me but couldn't. He is very miserable with my sister. She is very dumb and doesn't care about him like I do. I used to bake him a cake and throw birthdays for him, but Abby only texted him happy birthday and didn't even bother to buy him a cake. Plus, she is very rude. She doesn't respect him. She is always at the bar with her friends. He also mentioned that she has cheated on him 5 times already. The last affair was with his cousin. Her mother also doesn't stop her. He will soon file for a divorce, but lately he has been missing me a lot. He wants us to try again as a couple. He wants us to become a family just like before. Since I do not have social media except for Instagram, which is private, he probably doesn't know that I am married and have a baby on the way. I don't know if I should feel pity for him or just laugh because the grass on his side is very brown rather than green. I gotta say, I found myself laughing, so I'd be doing the same if I was you. The absolute cheeky so-and-so. And I'm pretty sure the comments will deal with the age gap thing in this one, so I'll let them talk on that. He goes away and cheats on you with your sister. Absolutely destroys your life in that moment. And has the cheek to send you an email whinging about that you used to bake him cakes and he doesn't get that anymore. Oh my word. I really want to know what was going through his head when he wrote that email, that he was expecting you to like email him back and said, oh yes, of course I want to be with you. I'm so sorry you had to go through all that. Being very rude to you, doesn't respect you. Him being cheated on as well. And I know OP said they paraphrased the email, so potentially this could have been in there, but I didn't see it from what OP wrote. There was not one single apology in there at all. It's just all, poor me, I'm not getting my cake, she's rude to me, she's cheated on me, your mum's not stopping her. The absolute cheek. Anyway, Blade982 says and quotes, he's very miserable with my sister. Blade says, good. He's living the life he deserves, and quotes again saying he wants us to become a family just like before. Then it says, well, he fucked your family last time you were a couple, so I don't think it's a word he should be throwing around lightly. Majestic Post says, ignore him just like he ignored you when you were broken and suffering after being betrayed by your own family and husband. Congratulations on your marriage and pregnancy. Fire or Water Kai says, have a huge laugh at his expense. His woe is me tale deserves zero pity. Be happy that your life isn't intertwined with these absolute garbage people. Don't respond, let him marinate in his misery. And he says, I know the controversy with age gap relationships, but if my math is right, this man dated an 18-year-old at 25 and then cheated when he was 34 with a 19-year-old. That man is a walking red flag. Bun Bun Kimchi says, he just misses everything you had to offer. How you made him feel. He doesn't really miss you as a human being. As his wife, he's still a piece of crap and doesn't deserve your attention. Did he really think a 19-year-old would be the perfect housewife? Of course she's immature and wants to have fun and go to bars and cheat on him every week with a different guy. I'm glad he's suffering. He deserves every bit of the miserable life he has laid in front of him, and even more. So then OP comes in with her first update and says, I just want to say thanks to all of you who messaged and showed me support. I decided to send him an email and be done with it. It goes like, Dan, I'm sorry to hear that you are suffering, but there is no way I would be with you. Yes, there was a time where I used to be that girl who would have taken you in a heartbeat, but that girl is not there anymore. That girl has died the day I had a miscarriage and you were somewhere shacking up with my sister. I called you, but you never picked up. I'm married to a wonderful man who loves me and cherishes me. I'm also pregnant with our first child. I'm beginning this new chapter of my life with someone I love and care deeply, so please do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or she doesn't respect you. Someone like you doesn't deserve loyalty and respect anyways. I've left my old life in my old town. It will be best for you to move on and have some self-reflection on yourself. You are just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by your side. Goodbye. Update 2. A lot of you have been asking me what he replied. Well, he replied within an hour of me emailing him. He said he was stupid enough to believe that I would still wait for him. And he said he would always wait for me because no matter what, I will always be his baby doll. I cringed hard. He used to call me that, but now it feels repulsive. I got an email from my mum and my sister. My mum just congratulated me and was excited that she's going to be a grandmother. And my sister also did the same and said she will be the cool aunt. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them and moreover betrayed me. I cried for a long time because I have been reading your comments and it seems like me and my sister was groomed by that man. It was so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she was old enough to know it's bad to have an affair with a married man. That too, someone is your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I'm 5 months pregnant already. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried. Later took me out for ice cream, and I hope I can move past this. OP updates again and says, I'm cooled down now. I think I can make a more elaborate update. Thanks to everyone who has shown me support. I needed it. The email from him, my ex, just struck me like a train. I had flashbacks of everything he has done to me. I think you guys deserve a detailed update. After I sent him the reply, he emailed me within an hour with the thing I said in my other update. A few hours later, I get 2 other emails from my mum and sister. They sent it to my old email address that I hardly use now. I don't know how they knew about my pregnancy. I tried to keep a low profile. I still haven't posted my baby bump pics on social media or made any announcements. I only have Instagram to follow my friends, but it just scared me. I broke down crying on the spot. Luckily, my husband, Tony, was around. He held me and put me on the couch. He knows everything about me. I never hid anything from him. I was a little bit scared that my mum and sister would find me. He reassured me that I'm hundreds of miles away from them. I mean, we were on the opposite part of our country. He took me out for ice cream to comfort me. It took 2 ice cream cones to finally calm me down, lol. I told him about my concerns and that my mum and sister might demand to see my baby. It's a girl. He told me he would talk to his uncle, who is a police officer, to be on the lookout for them. Even if they come here and force themselves on you, he would fight for it. He's going to consult his lawyer friend about this matter and told me not to worry about my ex. He cannot harm me anymore. My husband even made a joke that he would move countries if he had to. Lastly, someone in my post commented that I should alert the daycare about my mum and sister in case they try to steal my baby. Well, we aren't planning to put her into daycare. Even though I'm currently working, I decided I would quit my job and look after my baby and focus on healing from giving birth. I do have a good amount of savings in my personal bank, and this is my own decision. I will go back to work when our little princess is a bit older. My in-laws are amazing. My mother-in-law and father-in-law lives nearby. They are both good people and offer to help with my child. Also, don't worry. Apart from my in-laws, I have a good support system too. Tina and her wife, Jenny, basically adopted me, lol. They are really good people and always help me. I don't know what will happen in the future, but at least I'm surrounded by good people that I never had growing up. I will take my leave and enjoy my husband pampering me. If something big happens, I will keep you guys updated. And my ex, sister and mother-in-law are all blocked. And I can't remember where the quote actually comes from or who said it originally, but isn't it something like living well is the best revenge or something like that? And I think you're doing absolutely the right thing. Move on with your life, enjoy your new family, block all the rest of them, and just carry on. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on with another story. And our next story was one that was suggested over on Twitter. Thank you so much for your suggestion. It's always really appreciated. Won't mention your name just in case you don't want it mentioned, of course, but thank you again. It's from Ultra Secret Account, who says she put Nair in the conditioner. And just to clarify before we get going, I'm sure most people know what it is, but there's a hair removal cream, spelled Nair, just in case you're on the podcast. So I, female 19, have a friend, female 20, who I share natural hair tips / products recommendations with. And she wanted me to try this deep conditioner she was loving and get my opinion on it. Just gave me the jar to borrow, which I was like, oh cool, because I didn't want to spend money on something I probably wasn't going to use after the one time anyway, since I already have stuff that's worked just fine for my hair. I did my usual wash routine and I looked the product up before using it. Read some pretty good reviews, but what had me a little confused were the people loving the smell, because mine smelled awful, like trying to spray perfume over rotting food. I got paranoid, I guess, but I was like, no way, right? So I put a little on my arm at first and I was like, okay, I'm being silly, but waited and then got that familiar tingle most people know if they've ever gotten tired of the typical manual shave. I rubbed it off and what do you know, the spot is now hairless. Now, I'm not sure if it was Nair exactly, but it was mixed with a conditioner, but definitely some hair removal cream regardless. A little something about deep conditioner / hair masks, you typically leave them in for 30+ minutes. And I'm sure I would have noticed if my scalp started tingling, but screw being bold, I could have gotten chemically burned. I almost didn't want to blame her exactly, but she literally used it before offering it to me. She texted me asking when I plan on using it, since I didn't tell her I was doing my wash day, and I don't know how to confront her. Small edit, worst part about this is, my birthday is literally in 2 days, and she was probably counting on me using it before then. And I guess the big question in this one is why? Why is she doing this? Why has she put this in the conditioner? Is she perhaps jealous of your hair? I mean, it doesn't make it any better. It still sounds like absolute madness. And I think there's a couple of potential ways you can play this out. One, obviously, block her, because that's crazy level behavior. Why would you want to be around someone who's trying to do this kind of thing to you? Or you could turn up to her house and say, yeah, it was really good, and then just see the reaction on her face. But I guess, again, it's all going to come down to why. But LCY asks the same. Do you have any idea why she would do that to you? Did you two have any arguments before? Why would she do that all of a sudden? Opie says, I want to know so bad, because truthfully, we have never argued before, like ever. We are very generic girlfriends. We talk about boys, shows, and our hair. That's really been it, so I don't know what the hell happened. Snoo Bunny says, some lady did this to my aunt back in the day. The smell gave it away, so luckily she didn't use it. My aunt knocked her teeth in. Obviously, don't go getting into fights, but this is not a friend. Stay away from people who want to cause you harm. Opie says, same, like, if not for the smell, I wouldn't have known, like, girl, I'm not dumb. It's not like it smelled rancid, but anyone with body hair they typically shave down has tried an air a few times and know the smell of that stuff. Like, geez. Jamison Beck says, so I was young and dumb and didn't really know what Nair was, but I've always shaved my hair because of dandruff and stuff. I put Nair on my head thinking, oh, this'll help. I had chemical burns, so this lady is not your friend. And from my own experience, if I were you, I'd file a report. This isn't a joke. The burns hurt. And I still say my hair was never the same after. Seriously, keep this person at arm's length. This is not a friend. Friends would never do something like that to you. She'll even probably try gaslighting you, saying it was a joke. I will never forget that pain. And one more comment from Earth Garden, who says, your friend is a backstabber and you need to dump her. This bish tried to make you bald-headed right before your birthday. I'm not saying fight her or anything physically violent, but cut her cold. If you must be around her, watch your back. This bish thinks she's slick, but she's not. She's just stupid and crazy, which means you need to be very clear and careful about dealing with her. Stupid and crazy is an extremely volatile combo. So OP updates the post and says, I decided to make a new post because I talk too much and I know this is going to be long, and at least the comments will be separate from the ones from the original so everyone can give an updated opinion, etc. I appreciate everyone's comments. I replied to a few, read a lot of them. I didn't expect this to blow up, but honestly, I'd be curious too, so I get it. A lot of people actually commented about their experience with chemical burns, specifically from there, and how I dodged a bullet like holy hell. My eyesight is already trash, I have very thick frames, and it was also brought to my attention that it could have gotten into my eyes as well. That could have gone so wrong. To mass answer the common questions though, I've been friends with her for a while. She went natural a year ago, we never argued, she's never done anything like this before. She lives in a college dorm where no one else has access to her stuff but her. She was invited to hang out with me for my birthday, but she said she couldn't go. Sorry for the devil's advocates, I was rooting for you all. I tried to think of what else could have happened to avoid making her the only suspect, but I took a bit of advice from everyone. Thanks to the Redditor who commented these prompts. I went ahead and pretended like I had no clue. I told her I was trying it today with my mum, and she said, oh, okay. Then I said my mum thinks it smells weird. Is it supposed to smell like that? I don't think my mum wants to use it. She was like, oh, smelled fine to me. Well, are you still going to try it? I don't respond for a while, and then I tell her my mother and I did a patch test on our arms and it burned us. Just for her reaction, we are fine. I tell her my mother is peed, and I started asking her where she got it from. Did someone else do something to it? Where did she get this? My mum wants to file a complaint, and she blocks me, like straight up on socials too. Police are involved though. I don't really want to press charges, but basically just scare her. But my mum is handling that for the most part because she used to be an officer. And I'm a little on the spectrum. I don't even know how to communicate with police. I've never had to, but they were very nice. I gave them the jar, text, and a written statement. I do plan on emailing her school with concern for her roommates, plus I think the police will want to speak to her, so she'll probably be getting a visit anyway. If that goes anywhere, I will certainly update. I'm pretty safe at home. For those of you concerned she might do something crazy. I've got 2 dogs, cameras, a smart lock, good neighbours. I also blocked her in return. I'm definitely not sure what the motive behind this was. The police asked me as well, and I told them I had no idea because again, never had issues with her. I made a group chat with all of our mutual friends, which is just like 4 to 5 people and let them know as well. They also had no clue why she did it. She hasn't even said anything to them about me, so we're all in the dark. One of our girlfriends went to text her and got blocked, and all she said was, "Hey, everything okay?" I saw a lot of people theorizing that I did something to her, like sleep with her crush or pee her off somehow, but I didn't. I know that's technically biased, but we'd literally never even given each other something to argue about or anything, because we're just casual friends. We're completely different circles. I don't even go to her college. I don't know how to emphasize this any more than needed. That's why this has scared me so bad, because I can't even imagine what came over her to do this. A lot of you saw the post on my profile from another sub that contained the pic of me and obviously my hair. And yeah, you can see why I'd be peed off. Thank you for all the advice though, it helped. I plan on enjoying my birthday not bald or chemically burned, thank heavens. Shout out to the hair brand though, the product does seem actually decent and has nothing but 5 stars, so maybe I will actually try the real thing in the future, because at least if I get it myself, I know it's not going to melt my hair/scalp. The goddamn TikTok scallions found the post, so hi TikTok and apparently Instagram too, goddammit. Hey, lol. Tiny update. Everyone has been so nice and thank you. Made me very happy. I think I'm going to cut my hair at least to my shoulders and donate it. My scalp isn't chemically burned though. No thanks to a certain someone. So at least I can count on growing it back. And there was a lot of people thinking, this is just jealousy because of the hair, because, they talked about the hair a lot and made suggestions and stuff like that. But we never found out the true reason. Maybe we will one day in a future update. But what do you guys make of this situation? Holy moly, yet like a lot of people said, that's absolutely not a friend and someone you need to cut out immediately, although they've already blocked and all that sort of stuff. Certainly someone that you wouldn't be able to trust in the future going forward, is it? Wow. And I think it was great that the college dorm was made aware of the situation as well, because who knows what else might happen to other people if, whatever reason it is, you don't want this happening to someone else, do you? But what do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and just a huge thank you for spending your time with me today. Your love, support and time always means the absolute world, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.